Again, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, world. This is the man from Buzzwalk coming to you again live and direct. As you know, the spotlight is on the, the last conference that was done by Baltimore Planner, August 15, 1999, at the closing of one century going over into a new millennium. And this conference material was given to I with clear instruction. I have waited nearly at the end of 22 year now, and I'm just releasing it. So you can say I wait 23 years before the opportunity present itself for me to release this material. I have been taking note quite closely, and also member of the public is also taking notes. So for example, I have counted so far 10 people from this conference that is no longer with us. The chief statesman, Mortimer Barakome Planner, is no longer with us. Professor Rex Natterfall, who was the dean at the time, is no longer with us. Professor Barry Shavers is also no longer with us. Sam Clayton, who went on the first fact-finding mission, is no longer with us. Philip Avaranga, who also went on the first fact-finding mission, is no longer with us. So it is right to say the three Rastaman that went on that fact-finding mission is not with us today. So that's a part of our history that is totally gone. Russ the Sylvia is also no longer with us. Professor Rastekla is also no longer with us. Juna Mannings, very verbant youth soldier, is no longer with us. And Dr. Caragliani is no longer with us. Now, I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I think I will have to leviticate a whole program to Dr. Yanni and the upstorment that she have done to the nation. I have worked with Dr. Yanni for many years and happen to know the impact of what her present coming around us brought to the nation. As a matter of fact, it was Dr. Yanni who caused this nation to be in this eruption today. But like I said, that will be a program unto itself. I'm gonna continue with the cross, from the cross to the throne, where we left off. So this should be part 4. Coming at you, part 4. Now, it's
which Carolyn Cooper identified for us, to the mission which Hutton continued to tell us of Rastafari leading the way of escape from the oppression of alien self, to repatriation and re-education. Junior Manning asking, is there an agenda? Does Rastafari, do we have an agenda for the people? Is it a mission to conquer death? Most of all, he knows that we must study the teachings of His Imperial Majesty for discipline, dignity, direction, and development. For Africa awaits its creators, and the messenger must live the message. And Mutabaruka, you're going to have to run a hot last leg, sorry, not last leg, fourth leg, and take us through. Please, forward. With a lot of food.
Yeah, I want to say, wow, I like that. I want to say greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Selassie I and his wife, Empress Menen. You know, 6 years ago we started a program on the radio named The Cutting Edge, and before the program I did have enough brethren. Enough brethren I did have. And I find, say, after 6 years, it seems as if because of my, what we would call, unorthodox way of showing Rastafari, it tends to move the brethren them away from me. So a lot of brethren kind of feel uncomfortable when we start to talk about Rastafari. Well, I must admit, and maybe this is the first time I can say this on a public forum, but it's amongst women I know Rastafari. It's not amongst Rastaman smoking herbs. I want them to know that. And I feel that one of the problems with Mutabaruka on the radio is that Mutabaruka has now brought up the other side of the throne, which is Empress Menen.
Yes, Mika, stop that for a minute. Yes, now you know who bring the woman worship in this nation. Here, Muta admit it now, because I remember telling her, say, me da wonder, and where the woman thing I come from? Yeah, Muta is who the man admit it. Because when I grew up, I never know about no Empress Menen. I just know about the king. And I there wonder how this woman here will start worship her. But if you listen to what Muta said just now, Muta said, I know no man ground him in this. It's woman ground him in a this. So, because a woman ground him take it upon himself to interject the worship of woman. Now, but I say him nah make no woman, him nah worship no woman, him nah make no woman lead him. And people get na them feelings. You hear Muta say? When him do that, people get na them feelings too. So what I have in common with Muta, I have a own mind. Yeah. And that's why you see me hack, I'm a talk, I'm a go on, I'm a go on. Me not response for where you want believe or where you want think. Where you want believe and where you want think is your business. You can push where you believe pan high Jaboni. It not gonna work. So I just want to make that clear and give thanks for Muta to come make that. Because I ever did a wonder and all just say, where the woman thing I come from? Come and remember when I and I are youth, we used to bless anything and I talk about woman and man and all these things. We just bless the thing and say, Jah is the Almighty. And Jah know and Jah live. That's how we did grow up. I call upon Jah. And that means man is God. That's why I name Jaboni, because I know I am God.
Said there was a deep consciousness about what we call King Alpha and Queen Omega. And going back through the Howellites, we have realized that there was a real serious, as a matter of fact, there's a song that we keep playing, Oh Mother of Creation, Lioness of Judah, that was sung amongst the Howellites. That from I have been going to Bingi nearly 30 years now, I have never heard that song sung in the Nyabingi house, but it was sung amongst the Howellites.
All right. Just watch, Listen, me say, you know, listen carefully. And I have to go chop up what Muta say, because I can't chop up with the dead man them don't say. But listen what Muta say now. This is 1999. And Muta say my God Bingi about 30 years before that. Now, that questionable. Yeah. That questionable. Yeah. But me now go make it becomes me and Muta, but that questionable. Cause one, me never say Muta Bingi yet. So me now have to tell a lie on that. Me never say Muta no Bingi yet. In a city Kingston. Now, me never go any oil. Listen, make the record clear. Me never go a any oil Bingi. Cause me no know oil. Me telling already say, me no know oil and me no know Claudio saying. Me no know them two virgin there. But me know every other elder out of City Kingston. And me never say Muta any of the other elder them camp. Right. And me know Muta. But I know him from the Rasta camp. Me just know Muta. Right. But listen what Muta say. Because we know say Pinnacle get licked down in a certain period of time. Hence, me never got Pinnacle yet, because in my time, there was no Pinnacle. But listen what Muta say. Him go research and find that chant. Because you hear him say, him never hear that chant and no ground nation. I mean, not think say Muta ever go wanna Leonard Pinnacle. Because me and Muta pretty much the same age. So, if there was no Pinnacle in my time, there was no Pinnacle in a Muta time. But like I say, the point that I'm making is this woman chant where Muta say, him fine out of out of Pinnacle camp. Yet, him state again clearly, him never hear it chanting and no ground nation in the city Kingston. I am saying this to verify the fact that me never grew up under no woman worship. That's all the point I'm making. Anyway, Muta, come tell us some more about your history.
As a matter of fact, we have live version of that song being sung by the Owelites and some brethren that will come to see in the Nyabingi house now. So one of the things that I find that a lot of my brethren them have problem with Mutabaruka is that him start to say there is a feminine part of the Almighty that need to be expressed. And I hear Junior just mentioned.
Yeah, Muta, hold up again. In my introduction just now, come here show you how this feminine thing coming out, you know. And Dr. Yanni bring this feminine thing in a Rasta. Dr. Yanni. I tell you how the first time I hear about this feminine thing. I man have one of my sisters, my baby mother, named Sister Debbie. Yeah. And Sister Debbie have 3 youth for I. Jacinta, Tabet, and Bonnie Judah. That's my 3 youth from Sister Debbie. Now, when I get Jacinta, Dr. Yanni was very excited that I get a youth and name her Jacinta. Then I get a second youth from Debbie and send a fax, get excited and name this daughter and after one of Menelik wife as Sister Tabet. My third youth from Debbie, we always hoping that it would be a youth man. So we already pre-named the youth Bonnie Judah. Yeah. And we never do know, you know that test that where you know what the species is. We never do that test upon Bonnie. So when Bonnie come, for lacking a better word, it was a bit of disappointment because we both did expect a youth man. But to maintain the integrity of the name, we still give Bonnie I man name Bonnie. Because the name Bonnie is a unisex name from what I get to understand. In America, is girls name Bonnie. In a Jamaica, is boys name Bonnie. So we flip the name and give it Bonnie Judah. Bonnie. And I remember a reason with Dr. Yanni one time in a telephone conversation, transatlantic. And Dr. Yanni said to I, this is the first time I couldn't fathom what you said to I. To say to I, say, Bonnie, Jabi, you need to calm down. Do you not realize that is pure data you're getting. His Majesty want you to calm down now. He's off of the road. Go into your feminine side. It's the first time somebody ever tell me this. Dr. Yanni tell me, say, me must go in and dig deep in myself and find my feminine side. Me never know say me have a feminine side. Dr. Yanni is who tell me, say, Jabi, dig deep in your feminine side and find that feminine side in order to deal with your 8 daughters. Yeah. Never forget Dr. Yanni telling.
That feminine consciousness within the movement.
Never forget Dr. Yanni telling me to do a thing like that. She said, in order for you to deal with Sister Debbie and deal with all these one house full of girls, Jabi, you will have to go in your feminine side in order to deal with these youth. 2001, when I came to Jamaica and went and seated with the old man also instruct I not to return to Africa because no one is going anywhere leaving anyone. The old man instruct I to come forward to London, try to organize Rasta in London, but in doing so, pay close attention to the girls. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a tie-in with this feminine because I only tell you how me come into this full standing. And even today, I still can't embrace it from the worship point of view or the equality point of view. But Muta, I'm going to try to hold my tongue now and make you deliver the thing because I never interrupt nobody else and I'm going to bite my lip now.
Just come like any other patriarchal thinker that is doomed to failure in the society. We just want them to know that. Our next problem that a lot of brethren have with Mutabaruka is that him don't accept a supernatural being. In other words, I don't believe that Haile Selassie can fly for no, what them call it, lightning bolt, and for no, ride for no cloud. We have tried our best to express Rastafari in the most natural way possible to the listeners on the radio. In other words, we have tried to move the myth and the faith and try to bring a realism to it that seemed to not matching up with the orthodox view of Rastafari. No, we're going to start out by reading something out of My Life and Ethiopian Progress. This is the autobiography of Emperor Haile Selassie I. That when the Rastafari started out, we never privy to these books.
That's correct.
Most man went into the Bible to come out with his consciousness. In the translation, in the translator's introduction, the man says, My Life and Ethiopian Progress has been issued as a public document and for the official record. Whether there might yet exist a more private and more penetrating record of the emperor's life is not known to me. Meanwhile, we must be grateful for these privileged, if cautious, glimpses into the life of one who would have been a judge great, even if no crown had adored his head. This man is acknowledging the greatness of Haile Selassie, even if he wasn't the emperor of Ethiopia. Rastafari come to the consciousness of Haile Selassie, tracing the genealogy from 225 emperors to a woman by the name of Makeda, who visited Solomon and brought back a child by the name of Menelik I to Ethiopia and started the dynasty of the now emperors of Ethiopia. There was a Zag or a Lag in that dynasty, where they had a dynasty in the Zagwe dynasty, which moved away from this dynasty, but it didn't last long enough to really make a great impression on Ethiopia's history. Now, why are we saying all of this? My brethren, Martimo Plano said something to me years ago, and it struck me and stuck with me for years. And not even years neither, maybe it's all 3-4 years. Martimo said, Rasta need a new faculty of interpretation. A new faculty of interpretation. What I interpret that mean? It means there is an interpretation of Rastafari that need to be updated in relationship to where Rasta is now and where Rasta is supposed to go. There are certain things that Rasta used to say that because of the information that is presented to us in this time and because of the reality that exists in this time, we can no longer look at those interpretations as valid in relationship to what is taking place. So that leaves no argument of faith and reality. Sometimes your faith does not match reality. And what would you choose, your faith or your reality? I prefer to choose reality, because there's a lot of faith that does not govern what is existing now. So we say no. Karen Cooper said, when she hear mental slavery, it conjure up a different perspective, in that there's a lot of things that we really want to know, but because we are so caught up into our existing thinking and our existing interpretation, we find it very difficult to appreciate an interpretation that also reflects what you were saying before. In other words, a Rastaman has been saying Haile Selassie through the dynasty of Solomon and Sheba for years. And next Rastaman come and say, all right, yeah, it's good that, but we now validate Haile Selassie through no dynasty, through Solomon and Sheba. We are going to go beyond that now, which is still Haile Selassie come out with. But the Rastaman who appreciate the Davidic covenant now, him see it as a blasphemy, because you no longer want to validate Haile Selassie through the King of Israel, through the Lion of Judah and all these things, because you personally see that as a very outdated argument within Rastafari. All right, it comes now to what I want to say now. I say, and I agree with Martimo Plano, that Rastafari need that new interpretation, because socially, politically, economically, and theologically, a lot of things that Rasta was saying is outright faith. It has nothing to do with reality. It's just faith. It's just something where a man believes in, and it just carry him through, and that is that. But what carry you through in faith does not necessarily carry through a collective force in faith. What you might believe in today, and it works for you, if you bring it to the collective, it might not work for the collective. So Haile Selassie say, a religion is a man's personality. So him appreciate all the religious perspectives in Ethiopia. Rastafari get caught in a Christendom thinking that him cannot appreciate anything outside of his faith. And when you really check it, a lot of what he is thinking has no bearing on reality. The idea of Jesus versus Jesus. The Rastaman contend over the years that him born Jesus because Jesus is a more appropriate interpretation to an English word which him never create. Jesus, J-E-S-U-S. The whole world says J-E-S-U-S. But what has the Rastaman done? The Rastaman has used Jesus in the same understanding as Jesus and then fit it with Haile Selassie. In other words, the Rastaman will tell you that Jesus is a black man, Jesus is a white man. But him tell you, say, Jesus did walk on the water, and Jesus come to a woman with virgin birth, and Jesus do all the same things that the Jesus did do. Now I am saying, what is the purpose of changing the word and having the same concept? It don't hold water to me. I say we need a new faculty of interpretation for the consciousness that bear Jesus and Jesus. Because if you're going to show me Jesus, you have to show me a total different concept. Not the one that I was visioning of Jesus Christ, which is a white man. I know Jesus Christ is a black man, but the black one do the same thing like what the white one do. We need a new concept, a new faculty of interpretation for the concept that we hold. If not, we have to let go Jesus and Jesus. We have to burn
Yes, that was a sudden. Muta just said, "Bun Jesus and Jesus," and the tape just end suddenly so and carry me go somewhere else. Well, that now make me go have to do some work. Something that I have been running for the longest. We'll have to get forward because that was tape 3. Tape 3. So I will have to go dig up and find tape 4 and tape 1. So until such time, we will continue on a different track. So now you hear where the woman worship come from. Like I said before in some of my broadcasts, that this was not something that I was privileged to as a youth growing up. Even though we know about King Alpha and Queen Amigo, we know of them as king and queen. But there was no emphasis placed on worshiping the woman. And now, as I said, and Muta does confirm, it's very difficult for some of us who is of age to switch over to the new things that is being practiced today. I am not a resistant person like resist change. I adapt as necessary as possible when the need comes for an adoption. However, some things I will not hold on to. Something I will not share or hold on to. So, because the worshiping of women is something that was brought in the nation by individual. And because IJAB is not a follower of individual, I have never been. That's why I'm sitting here today doing what I'm doing, because I have my own lyrics. So I don't think I have to apologize for anything, because all I'm doing is being myself. So I'm going to cut this one real short, because all I wanted was to do was to let Muta get his say. So until such time, one perfect love.